Hello and welcome back to Darkest Dungeon 2. I am Realm, and we are starting up our third episode of our first run. Our second episode did not go very well. Multiple cultist battles back to back with a team that was not the best picked ended up in our Jester dying. However, he's been replaced with Baldwin, our leper. Now, in the meantime, I've gone through and spent stuff. I've used up all of our items, improving affinities and stress. I've spent our mastery points. So in terms of mastery points, Baldwin has an upgraded Withstand, which is just a very heavy tanking based ability. We've also spent our remaining 2 on our Plague Doctor to upgrade Noxious Blast for more Blight, and Ounce of Prevention to actually give us stress reduction. Wainwright was updated with the one storage trunk that we had access to. We went and bought as much stuff as we could off of the provisioner. We do have a bit of baubles with which to buy trinkets, but there isn't exactly anything in here that I would like right now. We've given trinkets over to all of our characters, so we have outfitted Baldwin with 2 plus 20% max HP, so he just has a very large amount of health. That should help us out quite a bit. In terms of routes, we have 2 options to go through. Both of them have the exact same bonus. One gives us hope and one gives us a Plague Doctor trinket. But we are going to go to the Tangle as it is a new zone for us. Let us embark.
Of a war that was never fought.
So, our order here is a bit screwed up, so we are going to want to redo this. Baldwin we're going to have in the front, with our Hellion behind, Audrey, and then Lucilius. Now, if we take a look, we have not gotten a lot of scouting. There are a lot of hospitals. So realistically, we probably want to avoid as many of the hospitals as we can. We are going to go straight through into a question mark. Which gives us a cultist encounter. Alright, starting off this episode strong. Let's see if we can stabilize a little bit better than last time. Okay, fight, a retreat, so we're just going to take the fight. Pervious enemies have stun resistance. Our leper starts with 2 charges of blind, which makes sense for his character. And we are going to start stripping what dodges we can. Blast now that dodges are done with on the front line. Okay, so the way that we've redone our Hellion here is that our main damage dealer is Howling End, and then we have If It Bleeds for bleed application. We've got Yop for damage reduction, Bloodlust to get rid of our winded stacks, and Revelry for our stress removal. We're just going to start ourselves off with a Howling End. And she's going to turn more into just our raw damage dealer, just trying to pump up as much damage as she can, and removing it when she gets to high winded stacks. We're hoping that Ounce will help us take care of most of the stress, and she'll go in and help with that if need be, with her Revelry.
The slow suffering begins.
Okay, we will do Flying Daggers, try to get rid of as many of the dodges as we can. Howling End is on cooldown, so when it's on cooldown we can use If It Bleeds. Now we're at 8. We are going to... let's do a Noxious... no, Noxious Blast won't be able to Death Store, so instead we'll Blinding Gas the back 2, and reduce their chances to hit.
Steady yourself.
We've still got one charge of our blindness, so we will take a shot, which did go through. Gravedigger is going to try the death blow.
One less obstacle in our path.
It does feel like the cultists really want to rely on trying to blind you, reduce your damage output, just keeping you down as much as possible. We're going to start off with a withstand here. This will give us block as well as 2 taunts, so the next 2 attacks have to go on him. And that will let our Hellion try to do some more damage. She's now at 2 winded stacks, so we're going to have to reduce that if we want her doing damage anymore. And in the meantime, fail to hit anything. We are going to battlefield medicine this bleed off because it is extremely high damage. Now, I don't expect we will get a hit landed here, but we will try.
Misdirected.
Do a revelry.
Comfort in company.
Try to go for a decent amount of damage here. I think what we will do is try to apply Blight. Good, it will be down to 5 on its go. %100% hit chance. We did not get it to Death's Door, unfortunately, which means the Blight is going to be wasted, so we are going to Noxious Blast it to hit it to Death's Door, and hopefully it kills itself. Okay, we need to do a Bloodlust to get rid of our stacks. Continue on. We will just apply bleed back here for right now, and we'll consume our
misdirected
miss attack there. Chop down to 1 health. Unfortunate. But we can use, and if it bleeds here, and that'll let us save our bigger hit for this one. Plague Doctor, for right now, we'll get rid of this
impeccably timed.
bleed. And our leopard can use Purge, which will corpse clear. Poison darted down, it's taking 4, so we need to deal 5 damage, which we were able to do. That fight ended slightly better than our previous one.
The loathing festers.
We now have 2 options. If we take this watchtower, we'll be able to reveal everything further. I think that is worth it. So we are going to go left here. And we got a hero shrine. Perfect. For this hero shrine, I think we are going to give our Plague Doctor a moment. Our Plague Doctor doesn't utilize a lot of her base kit skills, so it'd be nice to give her some additional pieces to play with.
Plague Doctor. Chapter 1. The Good Student. Brilliant and bold, her unconventional theories created nothing short of a scandal in her 4th year. The mocking whispers and scornful glares of her peers and professors had an ironically invigorating effect on her extracurricular experiments. The mysteries of the human body, of life and death itself, hovered just above her scalpel's reach. If only she could acquire a corpse of sufficient freshness.
I'm sure there won't be any cases where we have to worry about corpses. So this is definitely a good slot for us because it just gives us something for extra damage. Plague Doctor looks crazy cool without all of her kit on.
An elementary problem.
Okay, so we are going right to the watchtower. Now, we do have an objective, at least for road battles, so we will have to make sure that we are doing broken paths as we go along. That shouldn't be too much of a trouble. I say noting that we can only at maximum get 3 of them. Well, let's take some frustration out on these guys. That does hit surprisingly well. Once we have more mastery points and can tick that up to upgraded, it should serve quite well for just a raw damage dealer. Baldwin's stunned, so we're going to lose his turn. Let's get a blinding gas out. And we're just going to keep stacking up poison darts. Good, that blindness was quite well positioned. We will do a blight on him, which means he is lethal on his turn, which will be right after our Hellion. Hellion we will have do Revelry for some stress reduction.
Suffering strengthens the bond.
Just do a good shot on the one in the back. So, we will kill 2 of them on their turns here. They're already at lethal, we don't need to worry.
The smallest variable can make all the difference.
Start working poison on the back rank. Let's do an ounce of prevention to get more stress off.
We can rely only upon each other. Empowered, emboldened.
Does keep losing his action, but technically they're attacking him, so he's fulfilling his role as a tank. We're 2 stacks of winded, which is not going to do enough, so we will bloodlust.
We can rely only upon each other.
And start doing some debuffs. Death blow. She can still attack the back rank, so we'll let her do that. Let's see if our leopard can get a turn today. Actually, he won't, because we've got a death.
Abandoned or forgotten,
Good
It
enough.
is ours now.
So we need to do a total of 4 road battles. We've got one there. That's our second. Either way we choose will be our third. Actually, no. If we hug the left here, we will be able to get all 4, hitting probably a hospital at the end, but we'll see what this watchtower gives us.
If you hope to heal, you have
Watchtower
chosen
will reveal
wisely.
all the locations for us. Now we do have a lair access, but if we take that lair fight, we can't get the road battles done. So we are going to skip the lair, unfortunately. Hail enemies, so they have additional resistance to everything, but because they're just the 3 lost souls, we are not super worried. We will just go with raw physical damage rather than debuffs today, though.
There is comfort
Ounce
in
of prevention
company.
for some stress reduction. Almost got everyone completely out of stress.
Another impediment, cleared with impunity.
Odds are we will not get the hit here because we blinded ourselves, but let's find out. He does have a very interesting kit in that he does not have a low accuracy, but he has a very high chance of blinding himself after an attack. So you can usually get one good attack in, and then after that it's kind of hit or
Welcome
miss
relief
on if
from
he'll be able to
caustic
follow it
agony.
up or not. Do
There is
revelry.
comfort in company.
That is that fight.
By confronting the past, we learn to face the future.
So we currently have 18 coins, which is not going to be enough to get rid of all the maladies we've suffered. But we can at least reduce some stuff. So we will get rid of sepsis. And that's going to be all we're going to be able to do, unfortunately. We take a look at the pharmacy. We do have 2 extra laudanums we can
Tonics,
purchase.
tinctures, and remedies. The science of hope.
And let's filter those in. So laudanums stacked together, bring over to here. At the same time, we are going to head over to our plague doctor, and we're going to take out incision and put in bold meat vapors in its place. Map, see where we're going. Gonna hit another hospital, and then we will head left so that we can get our 4 road battles in. We've got no additional money, there's no point even looking,
A simple choice.
and
At
we will
least
head
it
to our
should
fight.
be.
Slay the wounded. Do not believe I've seen this before. We will start off with a big hit, and and see what we could do to it. Poison dart. Whatever lights and such we are going to try to use on the far back one, and then we'll worry about the drummer at the very end. We can't Noxious Blast him, or the back line, so we will blind them. Our Grave Robber got in the way of a 0 damage attack. Just great. In this case, we want to... We'll just use the Blast. I don't think damage bonusing either of these is going to be useful because of their low hit chance and less damage. So we will do a Withstand, get a Taunt up and running. In the meantime, we will get the bleed on the drummer. See if we can stack poison this time. Yes, we can. That drummer really likes giving Slay the Wounded order. Keep trying to stack blights. We're up to 4. And we only got 1 winded stack, so 8 to 4 would be 7 to 13. That's still a good hit. And he will be in Death Blow, so we're going to hit him once, knock him to Death's Door, and then we proc the Death on the Blight, which unfortunately does not work.
The slow suffering begins.
Now we are going to hit Death's Door on our turn with the Hellion. Actually, we will get Plague Doctor first, so we should be okay there. So let's Poison Dart. Do a chop, try to secure the Death Blow. And we will get a Battlefield Medicine going.
Impeccably timed.
Now we gotta be really careful here. With just the drummer left, it will self-destruct on its turn. And I believe it will just cause a very large amount of stress. So depending on how the turn goes, we may not be able to kill it before it doesn't. It's definitely looking like a distinct possibility. There it goes. 2 stress isn't too bad, and we do secure the loot. 15% damage trinket is great. That is going directly onto the Hellion. In this case, we will get rid of that trinket and replace it with the damage one. And instead, we'll put that on and get rid of the Dark Impulses. We will give a +1 speed for right now, as Plague Doctor going faster can be useful. Unfortunately, the hero shrine that we want to go to is blocked by the path. So we have to make a decision. Do we want the extra hope, or do we want the Forgotten Shrine? And I think we want the Forgotten Shrine. We're going to take this buff, because it will give us both damage and additional speed. Enemies are hastened as well, so doesn't really help us. Okay, pick to the face to get rid of his taunt. I'm gonna have to figure out how he's getting stunned so much. Might be an effect that he has.
In crisis, we can rely only upon each other.
Right, the 15% chance when damaged to remove. So we definitely need to remove that if we get enough currency for it. Almost a one-shot. Noxious Blast 3 to 4, that will secure a lethal. But instead, what we are going to do is blinding cast the back row. And then we can use our flashing daggers to secure the kill.
A promising development.
We will give our leper a damage bonus so that his next 2 attacks looking good. We'll do a purge here just because I want him knocked back. Unfortunately, it didn't work. And we will do an if it bleeds on the drummer really loves his job. Okay, poison darts. We can only hit the front because of the tanking, so we will do that and absorb one of the stacks of block. Let's get a Noxious Blast on the caster. Fortunately resisted.
Steady yourself.
We're only at 1 stack of Winded, so this is still a good damage choice. We will start with a withstand here. That'll redirect some attacks for round 4, because we are going to need to work on some stress healing right now. So, ounce of prevention.
Cooperation is the key. Empowered. Emboldened.
Another poison dart to get rid of the dodge. Then we're down to 1 health.
In crisis, we can rely only upon each other.
We are actually going to chop him, get him to Death's Door, hope that the proc kills, because we also have to deal with this guy giving us a whole bunch of stress if he's the last alive. So right now, anything that can hit him, we kind of want it to. Defensive formation just keeps making that more difficult than we would like.
Aspiration unites the hopeful.
Get another virtue for our team. At this point, what we're going to want to do is keep him alive until we've got the drummer in a better spot. We'll get an emboldening vapors on our grave robber. She seems to be the only one that can hit that back rank. Meantime, we'll purge to get rid of the gravestone. We'll do a bloodlust here, so we're ready for next round for a big hit.
Cooperation is the key.
Now we can do a battlefield medicine. I'd rather try to get a blight stack. So he will be down to 4 on his next turn. So we just need to do a little bit more damage. And now we've secured lethal. Our Hellion can do a revelry for more stress reduction. And our poor leper has had so much issue with trying to actually do any damage because of the stuns.
Tried and tested. A bond to be counted on. An inkling of potency still lingers in some of these well-worn relics. The loathing abates.
Okay. We're going to have another resistance encounter to an assistance encounter that'll let us boost up our flame technically. And then Hero Shrine into our Guardian fight, and we're at the end. Interesting. There was a proc there for one of the positives. Literally everyone wants to run from this fight, so we don't have an option.
An unexpected find.
We do get an amorous relationship out of it. Oh, we got 2.
While the heart still beats, desire
Okay,
will never
apparently
die.
everyone's in love with the leper. What could possibly go wrong? We will take a left here. And head to our assistance encounter. Now, arguably, because of how bad of a issue we've got on Baldwin, we should go to a healer, but
Have you?
I think it makes more sense to do otherwise. Both of these are going to lose us 16 relics, and we currently have 16, so the possibility of doing healer if we go to one of these two is out of the question anyways. This we will lose light, but I don't want to risk the relationships that we just formed, so we will take one of these. We're going to risk the relationship anyways, I'm an idiot.
An artifact of unparalleled power.
Go to trinkets. So this is a 20 damage, which is perfect. That is going to go into our second Hellion slot. And we will give you blight resistance. Okay. There's no definition now. We are going for the Hero Shrine. Can't purchase anything, so everyone's going to get a little bit of stress. But too bad for them. $54 light, which is good for right now. That'll get us to the inn without too much issue. For the Hero Shrine, we are going to continue on with the Plague Doctor.
Chapter 2. Head of the class. The professor was a relic, hacking and wheezing his way through a hopelessly conventional curriculum.
Disprove the professor. So both of these just allow us to reduce stress. We'll start with a review notes and see what that does. Seems he's going to gain 1 each, so we'll try a heated rebuttal. However, he countered us on that. Let's try another one. That did go through. Coughing fit, symptoms of a terminal illness. Oh! Oh, that's not good. I mean, we wanted a body, right? Can we stress him to death? Nope. Let's try it once more. Nope. So something happened here. If we can get it to proc again.
Anxiety foments insidious fears.
We've got 1 stress left, so if heated rebuttal doesn't go off, we could do a review notes, but that'll bring us down 1, he'll hit us to 2, so this is our choice. Oh, it did. There we go.
She delighted in the combative debate, and behind her bookish glasses, reveled in their outrage and confusion.
I don't know if we really won that fight, but we do have Plague Grenade. We finally have a Blight that can hit the back rank. That is great. In terms of what to remove, I think we will remove Blinding Gas.
Emptiness and dissolution have wormed their way into the world.
Okay, so we have a 3-part encounter. Depending on if we can keep stress under control, we may be able to actually get to further ones. I want to start stacking up Noxious Blasts, and we'll get rid of blocks. Flash of daggers, get rid of block, do some damage on the bishop. What we're hoping for is that our Hellion can get him to Death's Door. So, get a Poison Dart onto the second one. Plague Doctor will do an ounce for us.
Cooperation is the key. Empowered, emboldened.
Ooh, counterattack. In this case, we do not actually have blindness right now, so we'll just do a regular chop. And if it bleeds, we'll not do enough damage. So we will put it on the back one. Of course it crits, that would have put him on death's door. We will use a Noxious Blast though to force him to death's door. And our Grave Robber can put some blight on the back rank. Helling End isn't really worth it, so we'll do another if it bleeds, taking 6 a turn. Just use a Withstand so that the next 2 hits have to go to him. Should mean that no one else will take damage over this next 2 rounds. Dead a Knight for healing. Can't do an ounce, we can do a revelry. So what we'll do is completely forget that that character does not have a death blow. We are doing really good, and we have the opportunity of getting more relics, so let's advance to the next fight. These ones are infectious, so we're going to have a harder time keeping debuffs off of us. When we go into secondary battles, we do get a partial heal. So that does help us in continuing to go forward. There's no taunt up yet, so we'll put whatever we can into the drummer at the back with our ranged. And then Plague Brigade, these 2. Chop unfortunately didn't do enough damage.
Mistimed, misdirected.
Did we consume the blind because of that? We did, okay. So I'm fine with that. Grave Robber will use daggers to get rid of more block stacks and the taunt.
Steady yourself.
Unfortunately, she is way too low now. Okay, so if we look at our order here, we will have the Foot Soldier attack, which is risky, bringing her down to 0. So we will Battlefield Medicine her instead. I have a healing pack as my 5th option, but I didn't want to use that yet. I will, however, use a laudanum to try to get her down just a touch. And we'll get you to Death's Door.
Stumbling and stupefied.
Do a revelry for some more stress reduction. Now we can absent. We have a 75% block chance. I would rather get rid of the taunt with her.
Steady yourself.
And our Hellion became taunt, so we don't taunted, so we don't have to worry about that as much. We will do an ounce here for removal. Hellion is not going to be able to do any damage because she has 2 stacks, so we'll Bloodlust it off. And of course our leper is stunned. We have to attack that one, which I'm not super worried about, as I can bypass defense. In this case, let's get a plague grenade out, try to get some more blight going. And pounding end. Good combo attack. Let's do a purge, get rid of the corpses. Now our little drummer friend here will go down to 0. Let's see if he has any death blow resistance. He does not, so he is automatically dead.
The smallest variable can make all
Now we
the
just have
difference.
one left to deal with. Nestor, which means he has a check on his turn. We do have a Revelry available, so we will use that instead of trying to secure the kill. And on the next round, let's get a Dead of the Night going. And then we'll kill them off.
Another impediment, cleared with impunity.
Okay, this is where things get a bit more interesting. So, misstep, 40% maximum HP, but I need a Dark Impulse. Currently, my Leper has two 20% trinkets on him, so that's not really worth it. I think we will escape this one.
Abandoned or forgotten, it is ours now.
And we can now finally move on to the inn. So once again, we'll get to the inn, I'll spend the resources, and we'll be on our way to the next. That will happen in the next episode. So, thank you once again for joining me for this episode. We will see you in the next one.